Chris able to practice?
No.
Okay. Is there any kind of concern there with where he might?
Yeah, there's a little for sure.
Okay.
So
Is that something that you're just treatment and see?
it's another holding our breath
Okay.
situation. So honestly, I don't know.
Okay. What was Giannis able to do anything?
Yeah, he did a lot of floor stuff today. Okay. So probably the most I've seen.
Does that include like
nothing live?
Is it just
yeah.
walking still?
No, he was shooting and moving today. Yeah.
I guess just.
So was I. Yeah, for the record. Yeah, I made one shot. Just like when I was a player, 1 out of 9.
For you guys, as you look at this kind of matchup, how do you try to make things more uncomfortable for Siakam?
By guarding him better. We didn't scheme him well enough. That's on us. I thought we did a good job of taking him out of some of the things, the team out of some of the things, but the byproduct of that is we left Siakam alone too much. And so we need to fix that. We will.
I guess along those lines, is there a thought to, I don't know, to use Brook a little more to a degree to help out in some of those situations?
Well, Brook was on him
right.
a lot. And so, and then it was Bobby as the secondary. And so, we want Brook closer to the basket more. That's for sure. Guarding Turner doesn't mean you're going to be close to the basket, though. May mean you're further away from the basket. But there's still ways of using Brook as your secondary defender more than we have been.
I think there's 10 minutes in that game where they have their 2 big lineup and then you have 1 big in.
Yeah.
Do you think that's something that's sustainable moving forward?
Well, it was the other night for us, but that was more, honestly, I didn't like our rotations the other night. Unfortunately, it was condition oriented. And, Chris went out. And Dame and Pat both needed a blow. I used 1 timeout. They still needed a blow. And you got caught with a pretty tough lineup out on the floor. Not a lot you could have done about it. But we have to try to avoid. I thought there was at least one lineup that right when it walked on the floor, I said, we got to get through these 2 or 3 minutes. The problem in the playoff, that could be the difference.
So off of that, if Chris isn't available.
Yeah. Then we have to be very intentional about who's on the floor. We know the group. We've gone over it. But again, you get in the game and, someone gets in foul trouble. Chris gets hurt, some of that goes out of the window. Hopefully, if none of that happens, even with Chris off the floor, at least we'll know the right groups to have on the floor because Dame has to come off the floor at some point. And that's a group with no Dame, no Giannis, no Chris. You got to figure something out there.
With Chris, this is all stemming from that first quarter the other night.
Yeah.
Along with Dame, so he's had obviously hot starts. Second half, the scoring hasn't been there. Is
Yeah.
that a function of just their offense, their defense, your offense, or is it something where he's exerting maybe too much?
Yeah, probably a little bit of both. Yeah. You don't want him not to exert, but we may use timeouts a little different in tomorrow. Maybe even sub Dame a little different. He hates the 2-minute substitutions. I mean, he's told us that. But honestly, with Giannis out, even possibly Chris, we're going to have to sub in a way he probably doesn't like it. And then as a staff, you have to make the decision, does it affect him so much that now he's out of rhythm? As a player, I would have never liked 2 minutes back in. I mean, that's tough, but you got to give him a blow somewhere, use him around the timeout area. When you know a timeout is coming, try to get him out right before that. We want him to play 40 minutes, but we have to do the 40 minutes maybe differently.
You said something interesting after game 1 that guys were setting really good screens for him. How have you learned how he likes to come off screens?
Well, he wants to go left. We know that. It's a good question because guys want to come off differently. Like Dame likes the guy to run in the screens, right? Chris likes the guy to be set so he can kind of figure it out. That's the same play, just ran completely different. And we're learning that with Dame.
How do you feel like you handled their pressure better than you did in game 2? I know game 1.
I thought in game 1 we didn't handle it well. In the second part of that, even though we've worked on it, game 2 we got away from our fundamentals, what we were supposed to do. We popped instead of rolling right to the. It's funny. They did what we worked on. like versus our traps. And so we got away from our discipline. Now, their pressure creates that. When they get into you, you stop thinking, you start moving faster. And so we have to handle that better. And then there's other ways too.
You also had mentioned there's a couple times where you almost get an 8-second call. I think you said like 10,
Yeah.
15 times.
Yeah.
How do you get the ball up?
That's it. Like, we got to keep playing. I think, and it happens. It happens on every level. You have a guy that is rolling, a guy that is clearly on fire. The whole team is trying to get him the ball instead of getting the ball up the floor, get to play, and we'll get him the ball. And that's what we worked a lot about that. Like, we can't sit there and wait. Even when we got it across half and we finally got it to Dame, it's 10 seconds now. We can't keep doing that.
AJ, I think, had about 15 minutes in game 2.
Yeah.
In game 1. Just what did you see from him?
I liked him. Game 1, he got wide open shots, didn't make them. AJ's a shooter. We will live with those, all right? Game 2, he made one, missed a couple, but he made right plays. I think what he's done defensively for us has been fantastic. He's probably one of the better guys right now in our guard corps defensively because he's so solid and he rebounds from his position well. And then we may introduce one more of the young guys in this series.
How do you get Bobby?
I've got to post some more. I showed him, we sat and watched film. Like, there were 15 times where he ran to the post and ran out to set a pick. And I kept, saying the word, why? You're already down there. And we have to be more intentional. Like, Bobby's down there. Throw him the ball. Bobby starts on the post and his game's built out from there. When he starts out, it never goes to end. We got to get him down there early.
If Chris is unavailable and Giannis remains unavailable, you had made a quip before, like you couldn't believe that Brook was still the scoring leader
Yeah.
in Brooklyn. He hasn't really been asked or put in a position to carry a load this season. He's
Yeah.
done that in the past, though.
Yeah.
Is that something?
No doubt. I mean, if those both are out, we got to create offense, especially against the team we're playing. We have to score, and that may be featuring Brook on the post a lot. We're going to do what we need to do to win the game, no matter who plays.
Was Chris able to do any of the walkthrough stuff?
Nothing. No. Yeah.
Just to finish with Giannis, it's a short distance. Is he going to travel with you all starting today, or is he?
Yeah, I'm not even sure, but I think yes is the answer.
I know he's been doubtful. Is there still? Are you still kind of in a spot where is he doing stuff where, if not Friday?
It's getting close. But I don't know what that even means. I'm being honest. I saw him moving around, and in my mind said he's getting close. Does that mean a day, 4 days? I'm not sure.